Hello and welcome to Encore, the arts and culture show here on France 24. Coming up, how do you steal a show without even turning up? Rock legend David Bowie shows us the way as he's named Best British Male Artist at the Brit Awards. It's one of the most read and translated books in French, but find out why The Little Prince was actually born in New York. And from immigrant boat disasters to Czechoslovakia's porn industry, we take you on a behind-the-scenes peek of a photographic festival here in Paris that looks at the world through a rather different lens. But first, we're going to start with some music news. And what did David Bowie, Arctic Monkeys, Ellie Goulding and One Direction have in common? Well, musically, maybe not much, but they were all the big winners at the Brit Awards. Rockers Arctic Monkeys won both Best Group and Best Album, the first act to achieve that milestone. But it was 27-year-old singer-songwriter Ellie Goulding and rock legend David Bowie who were awarded the highest accolades, named Best British Female and Male Artist. While Bowie wasn't there to accept the award himself, he sent his friend model Kate Moss along to read out a speech.
The winner is...
I think it's a great way to the end of the day. Thank you very, very much. And Scotland, stay with us.
Thank you.
Well, One Direction were also honoured for their global success. For the second year running, the boy band won Best British Video for their track Best Song Ever, perhaps a self-predicting prophecy. His frontman Harry Styles, who almost missed picking up his own award.
I'm really sorry I was having a wee. The toilets are ages away. What did we win?
I thank the fans and everyone. I thank them. Other people as well.
A massive thank you to all of our incredible, incredible fans. Everybody here, thank you so much. Thanks for having us again.
Well, from music stars now to a place where pension-age pom-pom girls, the children of Transylvania, and a fair few nudes rub shoulder to shoulder. No, it's not some sort of bizarre carnival or circus. They're all featuring in a European festival of young photographic talent here in Paris. Catherine Nicholson went to meet some of the people behind the lens.
These historic buildings used to house the City of Paris municipal funeral services, but since 2008 they've become a centre for contemporary and experimental art known as the 104. Currently, it's home to a temporary festival of young European photographic talent, the Circulation Festival. Let's show you around. The subject matter is diverse, showing the world from angles you're unlikely to have experienced firsthand. Objects washed up on the shores of Lampedusa Island after immigrant boat disasters, working-class residents of Northern Ireland, even the Czech Republic's porn industry. To tell us more, let's meet the festival's president. So what were your criteria for choosing the photos that we see here?
Well, we look at several aspects, so we pay a lot of attention to the scenery of the photo, portraits, if it's in black and white, colour, old techniques too. So there's a lot of diversity in our selection.
And would you say that the festival acts as a springboard for young photographers wanting to further their careers?
The idea is to encourage as much of the public and as many professionals to come as possible, so these photographers get noticed. Because what helps artists the most is to have their work in exhibitions. There are lots of festivals that scout for young talent here.
To inspire the younger generation, there are also works by special guests, already established names behind the lens. And one of the invited artists is British-based Todd Anthony. Hi there.
Hi there, how are you?
Very nice to meet you. Really enjoying looking at your photos. Can you tell us who are these ladies?
These are the Sun City Poms. They're a group of retirees that run a cheerleading group in Sun City in Arizona. The youngest is 55 and the eldest is 83 years of age.
And why do these ladies make a good subject for photography for you?
For me, it's the vibrancy of them and the sort of incongruous nature of the fact that we're not used to seeing retired people dressing up as cheerleaders, and also the environment that they live in. Sun City is a very manicured, very sort of Tim Burton-esque environment.
And this whole festival is all about young, up-and-coming photographers. What advice would you give?
Get your camera, go out, shoot, basically, yeah. And through doing that, your eye will improve, your ability to tell stories will improve, and yeah, just you'll progress over time. It's definitely a long game. I think you have to play with photography.
Right, say cheese. What do you think?
Let me try.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not quite up to the standard here, but if you want to come and see some real photographic talent, this festival is open until March 16th. Then it's set to travel all across Europe.
Catherine Nicholson reporting there. Right, next, it was published in 1943, and Le Petit Prince, or The Little Prince, as it's known in English, sells almost 2 million copies per year in around 250 languages. But you may be surprised to find out the illustrated French novella was originally created not here in Paris, but in New York. France 24's Jessica Lemiseret takes us on a behind-the-scenes peek of an exhibition which reveals some of the secrets behind one of the world's best-loved stories.
Mais l'essentiel est toujours invisible.
A French classic with an American accent. The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry was written in New York City while the aviator author was in exile during World War II. An exhibition at the Morgan Library in Manhattan reveals how Saint-Exupéry transformed his original doodles into a book that captured the imagination of children and adults across the world.
He didn't speak the language, didn't speak English. He was far from home while his country was occupied by Nazi Germany. He was in absolute despair at what was going on in the world. And yet, he managed to create a book that is really infused with hope.
The exhibition features a bracelet that belonged to the writer.
And it says NYC USA.
Saint-Exupéry was wearing it when his plane went down off the coast of Corsica just weeks before the end of the war. It was found by a fisherman near Marseille more than 4 decades later. Saint-Exupéry arrived in New York on the last day of 1940. He planned to stay for a month but ended up staying more than 2 years here. For most of that time he lived in this block on Central Park South. Friends say he sent paper airplanes flying from his 23rd floor window. There's no record of Saint-Exupéry ever having visited the Bronx, yet the writer's masterpiece has found its way to a high school there. These students are originally from West Africa.
So what's this drawing? A hat? Adults don't understand his drawings. He drew a snake swallowing something, but they thought it was a hat.
Saint-Exupéry rediscovered some of his childhood memories during the autumn of 1942 when he stayed at a mansion on the northern shore of Long Island. The French author spent long nights in his study, coffee in one hand, cigarette in the other, and was known to call friends at 2 a.m. to read them passages.
One of his main themes is the memory of childhood. That's what makes a person who they are, and it's what gives them depth. For Saint-Exupéry, that enchanted world of childhood stayed with him all his life.
It's here that Saint-Exupéry transformed the little character in his head into the hero of his book, The Little Prince.
Next, it inspired a book and a film starring Scarlett Johansson and is considered one of the most famous paintings in the world. Now, people in Italy have the chance to see the cloutistic masterpiece, The Girl with the Pearl Earring, up close and personal. And it's already proving popular. Before it even opened its doors in Bologna, the exhibition had people scrambling for tickets, as Catherine Viette reports.
It's been called the Dutch Mona Lisa. and it's one of the best-known works of that country's artistic golden age. The northern Italian city of Bologna is the latest venue to host the most famous work of 17th century painter Jan Vermeer. Over the last 2 years, the girl with the pearl earring has toured Japan and the US, while its parent gallery, the Moritz Heights in the Netherlands, undergoes refurbishment. Vermeer favored interior domestic scenes, but much mystery still surrounds his work. And art lovers are lining up to see this iconic portrait, which now hangs alongside other Dutch masters such as Rembrandt.
We have pre-sold almost 100,000 tickets in very little time. And there's been great excitement around the exhibit and this painting in particular. The fascination with this piece of art is clearly linked to its international fame, thanks to the book, but also the 2003 film starring Scarlett Johansson as the girl. The book and the film are pure works of fiction, but they've greatly impacted the public.
The exhibition, The Myth of the Golden Age at Bologna's Palazzo Fava, is set to run until the 24th of May. The masterpieces are then due to return home permanently to The Hague.
Well, if you're in Italy, another event worth checking out is Fashion Week. It's taking place right now in Milan, and we're going to leave you with a sneak peek at some of the autumn-winter looks from Gucci. Don't forget, you can get all the latest culture news on our social networks. Enjoy and see you soon.